It's almost taper time. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another video here on Keep Running with BK. And during this morning's run, I'm going to be talking about my taper. I'm 2 weeks out from my ultra marathon, and after this week's long run, I'll begin the taper process for the race, and we're going to talk about what my plans are for that and what are the key principles to keep in mind when tapering for a major race. We'll be right back right after this. Hello everyone. So, as I mentioned in the intro, after this week's running, I will have 2 weeks before the big race where I'll be running the tie-dye 50K at John Bryan State Park here in Ohio. It'll be my second ultra, 31 miles. Instead of October, it's going to be August. So I anticipate that it can be very hot and humid. It's been a very hot and humid summer. And I've been following the Maffetone training method, which essentially is a low heart training method to keep it easy, keep my heart rate down, develop my aerobic capacity, and really prepare myself to be out on the trails for 6 to 7 hours, depending on how I handle the heat. I've been very fortunate this week to enjoy cooler mornings, low humidity, and at the same time I've also been feeling it. This is the peak week in my training where I'll hit the most mileage for a week in the entire training cycle in preparation for the race, and then I get to start tapering off for the ultra marathon. That's what I want to talk to you about today. So essentially at this point in time in my preparations for the race, the training is in the can, so the saying goes. There isn't really anything else I can do to add to my fitness, and so there's no need for me to push or stress or try to do too much in the next 2 weeks, because I can't add to my fitness. All the training at this point is done. Now, that doesn't mean I can't sabotage my training by doing stupid stuff. Just because I may not be running as much doesn't mean I replace it with other stressful activities. It doesn't mean I get too far out of my routine. It doesn't mean I stay up really late or I start eating a bunch of junk. really the goal of tapering is to essentially maintain the quality of my workouts, maintain the frequency of my workouts, and reduce the volume of those workouts. And so what I intend to do is I plan to continue to run 6 times during the week, just like I normally do. But I will be reducing the mileage, maintaining the same quality. I mean, same pace, same effort, whatever it is I've been normally doing. I want to maintain that so that the body continues to be used to what I want it to do, and not be confused by either increasing or significantly decreasing or changing up the routine. So the question comes up then, how much do I reduce the mileage? So typically I run around an hour, around 6 miles on a typical morning during the week. And so for this first week of taper, I'm going to reduce by 25 to 30% of my training volume. So that means instead of running 6 miles, I'll run 4.5 miles. So 4.5 miles Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday, when I typically do my long run, what I'll do is reduce. Like this week, I hit 18 miles, or 3 hours is what I'm targeting. I want to run around 2 hours, or a half marathon is what I'll run for my long run after the first week of taper. Second week of taper is a 50 to 60% reduction of my peak week. So essentially I'm going to go 50%, and I'm going to have the normal volume of a given run. So instead of 6 miles Monday through Friday, I'll probably do about a 5K. I got a 3.16 mile loop that I think will be a good one in my portfolio of routes around here. And so I will probably run that each morning. One of the main goals of tapering is to give the body a little bit of a break. So I want to increase the rest and recovery just a little bit. So by shortening those runs, I'm not taxing it as much. I'm not putting as much training stress or workload on the body. Giving it just a little bit extra time to repair, to recover, so that come race day in 2 weeks, I show up at the finish line, one, injury-free, but I also show up refreshed and fully charged, ready to go. So one of the other things that I want to do over the next 2 weeks is twofold. During the day, I'm going to do what I can to reduce stress. Not only will I be reducing training stress by reducing the mileage, but I want to be careful of managing work stress and other stress factors that I might have going on. Looking at my week and making sure that I do what I can to maintain my consistent routine. I am a creature of habit, and I don't want to change that. I may allow myself to get, say, additional 20 to 30 minutes of sleep if I can. I tend to be a creature of habit. I tend to wake up pretty much the same time every day. But maybe I will strive to try to get an extra 20, 30 minutes of sleep, or maybe take a power nap during the day, if that's possible. But that allows my body to repair itself, to be refreshed, so that I show up, my legs are ready to go. I'm gonna start feeling fresher, because when you get to this point in time in your training, at least for me, I feel it. I feel the volume of training that I put in for this race. So I know I've put in the work. I know I've put in the preparations. And I can feel the accumulation of the fatigue. So my body's ready for this. And it'll respond well. And I'll show up ready to go. And I'll be able to enjoy my race. You want to monitor and manage that stress. Get a little bit of extra rest. And maintain the quality of your workouts even though you've reduced the volume. And that's essentially it. It's an exciting time. It can be an antsy time where you're so used to putting in more training volume, and when you shorten it up, it's good for the body, but the mind can get a little stir crazy. So it's important to find something to do to relax, maybe read, watch a movie, listen to some music that helps you relax, and think about the final preparations for your race. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in next week's video when we go for our weekly run, talking about preparations for the ultramarathon. So I'm going to share some thoughts about the course, share some thoughts about the final preparations as I think through how I break down a race into stages or phases and what my mentality is for each one of those, and even then planning through what type of resources I'm going to need. And I'll even think through some of the things I need to pack for the race, which I'll cover in more detail in the last video before the race. I'll share with you what I'm packing and those final thoughts. But I appreciate all of you checking into the channel. I want to welcome all the new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would invite you to become a part of the Keep Running with BK community and click the subscribe button. And check out some of the other videos I have, whether it be other videos that I've been sharing the past few weeks in my preparations for the ultramarathon, or if it's the Maffetone training, which are my most popular videos, or even other videos that I share since the beginning of this year. But there's a lot more to share, and if you found any value in this, I'd appreciate a like button, clicking on the like button there. And if you want to follow along on my training, I'll provide a link in the show notes down below to my account on Strava. You're more than welcome to check that out and follow along. And as always, I invite your guys' questions and even your own updates on how your training is going. I really appreciated those of you who have been checking out some of those other videos, sharing your thoughts to some of the questions that I've asked. And I really enjoy reading them personally. I want to wish all of you the best in your preparations. I'm sure some of you are doing your final prep just as I am. And look forward to seeing the outcomes of all your hard work. And with that said, I want to say, stay safe, train smart, and keep running. Bye now.